Hello, everyone. How's it going? We are live. I'm sorry for the shaking of the camera, but welcome back to Enda's Boutique. And today is um, National Entrepreneurs Day. So I am excited about today because I am doing back-to-back interviews, as many interviews as possible. I wanted to talk to men and women who decided to launch their business and support them and celebrate them as well. So I'm going to bring in my next guest for today. His name is Timothy Hughes, and he has a magazine. It's titled XMNR Examiner Quarterly. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him in right now. He is part of this campaign that I'm doing to celebrate individuals, and we've got him in. Hi there. How's it going?
All right. How are you doing, Jean?
I'm doing well. Welcome.
Thank you.
To this boutique interview. And so I am again excited about today. Today is National Entrepreneurs Day. So this is a day where we recognize individuals who decided to take the step of faith, the leap of faith, or whatever you want to call it, to start their own business. And I got an opportunity to meet with you. You came by the bookstore.
Yes.
And you discussed and shared with me magazine that you put together on a quarterly basis. But before I get into your wonderful magazine, I want you to share a little bit about yourself. You are not from here. It's interesting. I keep meeting people who have moved down into the Metroplex area from different parts of the nation, the United States. And so talk a little bit about where you're from and why you decided to move to Texas.
All right. Well, I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, and glad to be here. We've been here. Me and my wife have been here for about 6 years. And in St. Louis, I was heavily involved in education. We had a company, educational consulting company that did, character-based ed type modules and sessions with students from St. Louis public school system out to the furthest county school district you can think of that wasn't too far from the Metroplex of St. Louis, and involved with that from the entrepreneur perspective and administering programs to young people, trying to encourage them to stay on the right track with their education, dealing with conflict resolution with St. Louis County family courts, working with a deterrent to detention program for young men from St. Louis County for a number of years as well. So come with a wealth of experience over the last 25 years, and starting really actively working in the church where I was licensed in ministry at New Sunday Mount Missionary Baptist Church, working with the youth there back in the early 90s.
You have a lot going on.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Wow. Yes, and you're in Texas now?
Yes. My wife and I moved here. She was blessed with a wonderful opportunity that we couldn't pass up. And our ultimate goal is to move and retire on a Caribbean island. So we're getting closer to the warmer climates, and we're trying to get closer to that ocean. So we're on our way, if the Lord says the same.
Listen, I'll tell you, with all the stuff that was going on in our United States, I was getting everybody passports because I said, you know what, I'm not sure if this is going to be the best place for us to make this a final destination. So I'm totally in agreement with you.
Yes.
On getting somewhere where it's peaceful, tranquil, and those types of things. So I'm totally in agreement. I keep talking to people who have like-minded goals and decision makings as it relates to that. So nothing wrong with that at all.
Indeed.
All right, so let's talk about your wonderful magazine I have here on display at our bookstore, and it's titled The Examiner Quarterly.
Yes.
And focuses on social justice, politics, and culture.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about your decision to put together this wonderful magazine. Why did you decide to do that? And what are you wanting to accomplish with your readers?
Well, thank you first off for allowing us to come on to share the XMNR Quarterly with your audience, and it's been a pleasure to meet you from the start with. So I thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
But the magazine itself, it has been a dream of mine from when I was in St. Louis when I had another company, and we were quite successful in fact, we piloted the in-school suspension program in 6 public schools in the St. Louis public school system when we had our business there in St. Louis. So from that, I was very interested in creating a publication that really spoke to issues concerning the African-American community that I felt were not really addressed like they should, and provide conversation that I think need to be had, not only by the African-American community, but community as a whole, in regard to social justice, in regard to politics, in regard to culture. And it turns out that I have an outstanding executive editor who has created and designed the magazine. We have about 12 different contributions of articles that we have from people that I know personally, and that Jeffrey Connors, my editor, knows as well. And we wanted to pull these articles together, and it's just, I think, a wonderful bouquet of the African-American experience and the various aspects that are laid out in the magazine, starting with the story of Sarah Collins Rudolph, who is the cover story.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And, in this magazine, when you brought it to me, of course, I was immediately just impressed with the cover of this magazine that you recently released, because it covers the story of the survivor of, the church that was blown up and in Birmingham, Alabama, back in 1963. Yes. And so, of course, the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church, where 4 young ladies were killed. They were in the basement. Yes. And so, which I knew about the story. As a matter of fact, in my store here at the bookstore, we have pictures of those young ladies.
Right, I remember seeing that.
Yes, because we want to tell all the stories, many of the stories as possible, of how we impact history, and also some of the things that tragically happened to us, not because we did anything wrong, but because there was so much hate that exists, and people do things out of hate. And unfortunately, 4 young ladies were killed. Yes. And this was in September of 1963. So in Birmingham, Alabama, and unfortunately by members of KKK, the Ku Klux Klan. And so your cover story features Sarah Collins Rudolph, and the aftermath, that she experienced, because she was one of the sisters that survived. Her sister was actually killed, but she survived. Yes. And so I don't want to give too much into it, but just give a snapshot of what this is and how you were able to obtain an interview with her and put it into your quarterly.
All right. Well, hey, it was divinely ordered by God, for sure, because I happened to look at, I have Push Black on my Facebook page. And that is like a history social platform that puts information out concerning Black community every day. So I saw the story, and it just caught my attention that I didn't know that there was a survivor living, and did not know that there was a survivor that had not been given an apology by the state, and she is not really recognized like I feel that she should be recognized. So the name of our company is Empower. We have a play on words. NPWR stands for Empower, and we're about doing something. So I really got upset. I was mad. So I went and I actually found her on Facebook and let her know who I was and what we were trying to do. And she graciously responded within a short period of time. Her and her husband graciously responded, and I have had her on our Sunday. We do a empowering room, empowering moments show which you were on with us on this
Right.
past Sunday. And she came on and did an interview on that. And then she agreed to also do an interview in the magazine, which is our first edition. And I was just deeply honored that she was that receptive and that open to allow us this opportunity to share her story, you know. So and she's a sweet spirit. Oh my God. I mean, I just, every time I talk to her, it spiritually, it takes you on a spiritual journey. It's really something, you know, to connect with someone that has gone through what she has gone through. And with it being such a historical fact that is known all over the world, and to actually engage someone that had experienced what she experienced, and how you can feel her experience when she expresses it. So I'm just so grateful. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, those of you who are just now joining us, and welcome to my bookstore podcast. I am, of course, Eugene with Enda's BOOKtique, and I have Minister Reverend Tim Hughes. So he is a fellow minister,
yes,
and he's here in the Metroplex area now. He is the founder of the XMNR Quarterly. So this is actually a magazine, and on the cover of the story features a story of Sarah Collins Rudolph, and she is sharing her experiences, of course, being the survivor of the tragic bombing of 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama. Her story is not the only one that's in this magazine. Of course, this is on the cover and it's featured here, but there are other things that you have in this magazine that I really love, that speaks to our community, that speaks to our culture. And your three focus themes are social justice, politics, and culture. So the three things are social justice, politics, and culture. Why did you make the decision to use those as your themes to set up a platform for your particular magazine?
All right. Well, thank you for that. Again, that was with Jeffrey Connors and myself coming into a agreement, really, on what we felt would be the three main issues that we feel have faced the African American community the most, and we felt that those three pretty much cover everything. From the social, the political, and the cultural, because cultural is so broad that we can go in quite a few different angles in regard to that. So we just want to make sure we covered everything, you know, in as best we can, and be able to just fit the articles in as they come in to fit into those categories, you know, and I just think thank Jeffrey Connors for him and his creativity and his journalistic background to help to put the articles in place where they needed to be.
Right. And so inside the article or your quarterly examiner, let's talk about some of the things that you have as it relates to information, the things that people are able to connect to. Why you made the decision to, use that. Do you have other people that write that are contributors towards your particular quarterly magazine? And, just talk a little bit about the dynamics and why it is important for our community to get a copy of this and read the information.
All right. Well, we were very intentional to make sure that it was cross-generational. There were male and female voices that contributed to the magazine. Through the 20-something years of doing what I've been doing, there are people that I know and that I reached out to. And the people that I reached out to responded. And they shared what they wanted to say, because we weren't trying to say, okay, we need someone to speak specifically on this. We wanted someone to specifically speak on that. I wanted to be organic, which it was, and allow the contributors to contribute what was on their heart. And that's how this came together. I didn't want to make it a real strict guideline. Okay, I need you to write on this. I need you to do this. I wanted it to be organic, and from the heart of the contributors, which we have about a total of 13 to 14 contributors, that contributed to the to this first edition. We have a person with a doctorate in education who contributed. We have my mentor and my advisor when I was a student at Eden Theological Seminary, who's outstanding, profound professor, Dr. Enoch Oglesby, that I was deeply humbled that he agreed to contribute, that he really just blew me away too. Between he and Sarah Collins, I was just, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. But anyway, so we also have Christy Fitzgerald, who was one of the first young ladies that was engaged in working with in the youth format at New Sunny Mount Missionary Baptist Church, who's now a counselor in the school system and all that. And she was on the show with you all on Sunday. And, so that was one of our younger voices. And then I have two of my daughters who also had contributed as well. So I have three daughters. So two of my daughters contributed to the magazine as well, too. So it's just a wide variety of choices, and it's just amazing how it all blended together. And that was by the grace of God. That's what that was. That wasn't but God.
Love it. I love
yes,
it.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes. Indeed. Thank you so much. And with all of the things that's going on in our world, we need to have as many voices, as possible to be able to tell our story from our perspective. And when I read your magazine, that's one of the things that I really appreciate is you really harnessing and presenting a quality product that truly brings about a relative voice. I like how even in a collective way, but it has its own identity, so that we can truly connect and understand and be able to receive the messages that you give to us and be able to further along in our own community, be able to do better things, especially knowing things. I mean, like you said, who knew? I don't even remember reading in my research or history about Sarah Collins. We always heard about the 4 girls that were killed, in the church, but we didn't, didn't think about survivors. I mean, there was an assumption that there were no survivors, based on how history is told. And that's one of the things that we have to be really, really careful of when our history is being told, who's telling our history, right? What message is being sent. And doing our own research to make sure that the totality of the story, the true identity of what happened, we're truly understand what that is. Because I agree with you, I didn't hear about Sarah Collins. I barely heard about the 4 young ladies who were killed in the church. We barely hear about that, especially if you're not in the South. You don't you don't get a lot of the Southern history. I mean, you hear to some degree some of it, but you don't really get the in-depth. I mean, I'm from the Midwest, and I don't remember a lot of the things that happened in the South being part of the history. You hear, I would say, a surface version of it, right? But not that big and deep information. And I think more of it has come out, probably because of recent events that have happened. So you see more and more people researching and understanding some of the tragedies and traumas that our people have experienced just because of hate. So some of that has been coming out. It's not that it just started, but you see more and more people being more interested in knowing and understanding and reading about our history. So your goal for this magazine, what is your goal? What would you like to see?
Well, our goal is to really get this information out all over as best we can, to as many people as we can is our goal. This is our first edition. The second edition will be coming out in February, which is shaping up pretty well. And we're working on strides to get that even further out. So we're kind of trying to saturate the Texas market and some of the Missouri market too, in the St. Louis area, Jefferson City area as well. So we're kind of testing the market out, if you will, right now.
Right. Exactly.
So we're testing the market out and trying to see what happens, because the Examiner is one component of our company, Empower Media. As you know, we do the Empowering Moments on Sunday, and then we also are looking to do presentations, public speaking engagements, and that type of thing in the school system here in Texas and back in St. Louis or wherever we have the opportunity to do that. We also are able to do virtual presentations as well, especially with the coronavirus going on at this time. We have a Black History Month presentations that we would like to share in regard to that, specifically regarding that. And then also I have a book coming out in, I would say within the next couple of weeks. We're right now getting it uploaded to Amazon right now. So hopefully it'll be done by the end of this week, but you know, things happen. So we'll see how soon it'll be available.
Yeah, we can get through playing with Amazon. Make sure Enda's BOOKtique gets a copy of that book.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
Without a doubt. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And that's a more on the spiritual realm in relation to an out of this world experience that I had as it relates to having a sudden death heart attack. So that's a story in itself.
Right. Exactly.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
exactly.
indeed.
I love,
Yes,
but I really do love hearing people talk about, the vision and bringing it to life and that energy that comes with it. It is so very, very exciting. And despite, let me say this, despite COVID-19, there is a lot that can be done. There is a lot to do. Let me just say that there is a lot to get accomplished and to take care of. There are a lot of needs to be met, right? A lot of problems to be solved. And one of the things, I talked to another person earlier today, one of the needs that you're meeting is making sure that we are connected to real stories and legitimate and relative information as it relates to social justice, politics, and culture. So how do we yes, sir, go ahead.
Okay, if I could add to, and
yes,
the magazine too, I have in focus for teachers to use it. They can use it as lesson plans. The different stories. The story near the back is that of the story of Elmina slave dungeon in Elmina, West Africa, in Ghana, West Africa. So that you can, teachers can use that and just unpack it, use it in a lesson plan to share the information with their students. I think Samuel Kofi is a good friend of mine. I call him son. He calls me dad. Yeah, so he contributed that article to us. So I want to thank him for that. Yes, indeed.
It's a very good article.
Yes,
very
indeed.
good article. Yeah,
Thank
I love
you.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I like you even talked about don't hold your vote hostage. Just a lot of topics in here, and stuff like that. And of course, one of the things that is important that we all talk about, and this is it here.
Yes.
And you discussed, a contributor talked about the private prison industry explained. And you cannot get enough information about that.
No, you can't.
We really, really need to make sure we stay on top of that. I think sometimes some of the things that happen to us is because we fall asleep on it. We're just living our life, and years go by, and then all of a sudden we realize 20 years have gone and our community has been totally ravished because we slept on it for 20 years, and now we're bringing it up. But we've lost so much not paying attention. We've lost so much not being on top of our game. So we have to pay attention. And silence doesn't mean that people are being still. It just means folks are working underground and in the back room making deals. And we are, unfortunately, the ones that are negatively impacted by such strategic plans that are placed against our communities, from gentrification, all those types of things. So
indeed.
I love the fact that you talked about this as using it and as it relates to education, for teachers to be able to put this in the hands of educators so they can use this in the classroom and discuss this with their students as well. How do we reach out and find you on the website, social media, those types of things?
All right. Well, we do have a website, and it's Empower Media LLC1, and that's Empower spelled MPWR Media LLC1.com is our website, and you can find all our information that you need on the website. Also, we do have a Facebook page. The Facebook page is Empower Media LLC. If you go to the Facebook page, you'll see our information there as well. If you want to email us, you can email us at empowermediallc@gmail.com. That's MPWR Media LLC@gmail.com.
That's wonderful. Thank you
Yes,
so
indeed.
much.
Well, thank
And
you so
yes,
much, and thank
sir.
you, for allowing us to be able to put the magazine in your store. We much appreciate that, and thank you so
Yes.
much. And
Yes.
looking forward to the continued relationship for sure.
Absolutely. Happy
Yes, indeed.
Entrepreneurs Day to
Same
you
to you.
as well.
Thank you.
And I know that your magazine is going to do well in our community. We are so glad to have you in the Metroplex
Thank you.
area, and we are glad to have your magazine in our bookstore. For more information about getting the magazine, coming to the bookstore, of course, it's at Enda's Boutique. We're located at 428 North Main Street. We're in the wonderful city of Duncanville, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas Fort Worth area, right off 20 and Main Street. So you can come visit us and hang out with us, get a copy of this amazing magazine. This magazine would do wonderful for you and for your read. And of course, we even encourage parents. This is a great opportunity to bring greater exposure to your children as well. You guys have an amazing Thursday. Be safe and stay safe, stay coronavirus free. Wear your mask, make sure you wash your hands, and do social distance. And we'll have fun with you later on real soon. God bless.
All right. Thank you.